tonight to honour two men, Tom Wills and Johnny Mullagh. Johnny's real name, by the way, was Unamuraman. Tom Wills and Unamuraman. And an event that occurred 150 years ago. An extraordinary event. Tom Wills, in my opinion, is this nation's most significant sportsman. When I travel Australia, I ask who most people think is Australia's most significant sportsman, and it's usually Don Bradman. But I think it was Tom Wills. By 6 o'clock that evening, Mr. Wills and I were on the floor, the best of mates. And then he said, "Greg, we have two letters from 1861 that we've never shown an outsider. Would you like to read them?" So we got up, he sat me down, and from beneath a rough-hewn Queensland table, he pulled a wooden trunk filled with not just two letters, but over 200 handwritten letters that documented the Aboriginal attack, the Whites' revenge, and the beginnings of cricket and football in this nation. And he just poured the letters in front of me like a waterfall. And what did this white man do, whose father had been killed in the biggest massacre in this nation's history? He helped find 10 Aboriginal farm labourers, and he taught them the game of cricket, and he helped create an Aboriginal cricket team. He became their white captain and their white coach. And he brought that team back to this ground, Boxing Day 1866.
Wow, Greg, what a story. I don't know how I'm going to match that. I'm like a captain chasing 500 here. Records of the 1868 tour, garnered from all accounts, suggest that it could be considered, the tour could be considered as a conflicted one. On the one hand, the tour represents a landmark in Australian and Indigenous sporting history. It's the first overseas tour by an Australian sporting side, and at a basic level should be seen as forever connect the sport of cricket in Australia with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. The tour had also allowed for the promulgation of Indigenous cricket champions and legends, a platform of historic heroism that brings to life characters the likes of Mullagh, Dick and Cousins, who are still celebrated. For the record, they played 47 matches, for 19 draws, 14 wins and 14 losses. Now folks, to paraphrase Hogues, you call that a heavy schedule. This is a heavy schedule. And regardless of how the tour is viewed, it will remain a remarkable moment in the annals of sporting history in this country. I want to conclude now, and I must say a few words about Johnny Mullagh. He played all of those 47 matches in England in that 1868 tour. He scored 1,698 runs at an average of 23.45 on pitches that were often treacherous. Spectators considered him the equal to any of the English batters. He also bowled 1,877 overs. 831 were maidens and took 245 wickets at 10 apiece. Extraordinarily, also occasionally donned the wicket-keeping gloves and managed 4 stumpings on that tour. And I think few cricketers better merited the title of all-rounder.
Amazing. Yeah, there's no other word to really describe it. You know, having Greg and Mick up there this evening, they pretty much all took us all on a journey. You know, took us right back to the mid-1800s, how cricket evolved. You know, and with what's occurred over the last couple of 100 years with, you know, Australia's first people, this is a story that should be celebrated. You know, quite often I speak a lot to young Australian kids, and you know, in schools, and I've always said this country has two histories. There's a pre-1788, there's a post-1788, and there's a lot that's happened sort of in between. And this is something of triumph. It's a story of resilience, and it's a story of reconciliation, I suppose, and how sports can unify people.
It is a story which should be told across the nation to our children and our children's children. I have grandchildren who just love the game of cricket. They'll be enthralled by this story, and it's one of those really sharp reminders of the power of sport to tell a story which should really engage the nation.